Hey everyone, it's Wild Wolf again with part 2 on how to make the homemade body armor. Today we're doing the back piece and the straps. You're going to need the same tools as last time. A knife, scissors, paintbrush, and black pencil print. And also, so to make this one, it's going to be pretty simple, but we're going to be using we're slightly going to change the method. We're going to roughly do the pieces and then adjust it after we glue them together. I find that to be a lot easier than cutting loose pieces of cardboard. What I found also is that this works, works as a great back piece, but not too well. So what I'm initially gonna do, we have new pieces of cardboard, but these are way too big, so I just need to trim that down first. Alright, I've got the piece a bit cut down the side, so I'm going to trace the front piece, but it's not perfect as a back piece. This needs to go up more, so once I'm done tracing this out, I'm going to extend it a bit. Be right back. BRB, my dudes. The extension on the back piece that I was talking about isn't actually going to be that long, but the reason why I'm doing that is so that when I'm cutting it and fitting it to my back to see how it fits, is in case I need to, I'm going to trim it down. Better having space that you don't need instead of needing more space. So that's how it's going to be when I cut it out, and if it's too long, I'll trim it down. Remember to do that. You know what, the lines are okay, but as I'm cutting, the lines are okay. As artistically gorgeous as it is, I think I'm gonna true it up a little bit when I'm cutting. So yeah, if your lines are crooked, just kind of cut straight and ignore the line. Alright guys, moment of truth. How well did I cut the lines? Satisfying. Mwah. Why did I do that? Okay, there is some fraying and bits around the edges, so I'm going to use the file on the multi-tool to just true that up and get smoother edges. Be right back. Baby smooth. Okay guys, I've got all the plates traced out. Well, and girls, or other. So I've got all the plates traced out. Now remember, use the same piece to trace each other piece, because if you just trace the first one and put it aside and use that, then you use that one to trace this one and this one to trace that one, then it'll be less accurate because you can't trace it perfectly. So the more and more you go down with each different piece, the more, the more deformed it gets. Like, it just deforms over time. So use the same piece every time to ensure that you get the least amount of imperfections. Oh, and another thing that I said is, remember, I might have to shorten it later. Yeah, that's what I did. I kind of just put it up against my back. I put my two middle fingers, or index fingers, where I thought it was a bit too long. Yeah, I got the measurement, put some dots there, and then I'm going to draw a line between them and just cut across that line. And yeah, that's a really precise way to shorten the plate if you need to. Actually, don't do that, because there's one thing I forgot to do. It's too big, because I forgot I have to cut a piece there for my head to fit, and then those shoulder pieces, they're not going to be very long. Like, a lot of it's probably going to get cut off, and then they're going to bend over the back of my shoulder a little bit. And then that's where I'm going to, those little tabs going over my shoulder is where I'm going to, those little tabs going over my shoulder is where I'm going to attach the straps for them. Loosen it up a bit more. See you in a bit. Okay, I got the tabs cut out, I curled them inwards, and you can see this is coming together. I also really had to shorten it a lot. Alright, so now that I've got another plate cut out, I'm going to take the finished product, put it on, and then trace out how it's supposed to look. This way I just have to kind of push these back a bit and get the pieces right. Actually, wait, oh yeah, it has to be facing that way. Or does it? So yeah, now you just put the initial plate on there, trace that out, cut it out, and you're good to go. Now I have to cut out the other pieces, do all the rough work, screw it up. This is gonna be agony. Okay, so I got the tabs on the other piece now. They're not glued together yet, but I think for now, I'm just gonna glue these two together and do the other ones off camera. But right now I have to crush these because with those 4 plates, it's going to be really thick. It's like I tried to last time, I couldn't really do it. So the back piece is going to be way stronger than the front. I'm trying to crush it to be really thin so it's denser instead of having these big holes in the middle. So I have to go crush this whole thing now. Be right back. Now the agonizing step that makes me want to throw this 12-pound weight out the window. Once I do it, gluing the plates together. Watch the previous video. You'll know all about that step and how you're supposed to do it. So, like I did with the chest plate in the first video, is I tried to get it, so to get it as dense as possible, you paint the glue across the edge, lay them on top of each other, and then crush it to get it as dense as possible. So, like, there should be excess glue leaking out the side. Then you know it's, well, dense. So to do that here, instead of just leaving it like that, I decided I'm gonna put a 12-pound weight and just rest it on it. And if glue's leaking out, then that's a good sign, trust me. Okay, I decided that getting all of it crushed down at once is literally impossible. So I just glued here from here to shut, got a clip on that, and then the weight here. So I'm only going to do one side at a time. So I got this glued up, that's going to dry, and it's going to be really dense. This is still here, then I got to crush that down and glue that together. So to make it dry faster, I'm going to be using a hairdryer. Just so you know, so that you could, if you ever wanted to do this. This isn't really an instruction video, I kind of just wanted to make these videos. Okay. You have no idea how jealous of you guys that was a fraction second transition. That was literally all day for me. I started recording this at like, what, 1 o'clock? It's now, hold on, 9:09. So, continuing with body armor, like I said, got them together, the edges to kind of crush it out. I just had to let it sit, so I put a lot of glue right here. When I glued it on, I rolled the weight over it, and then for this edge, I kind of just let it sit there. This was popping out, and I only had a certain amount of these, so look. Getting all of it crushed down at once would be impossible. The only way I'd be able to do that is if I were to stand here all day and hold my hands down on it. So I just did it one bit at a time. Had it here, then I glued this end, then had the weight rest there, then there, then there, and there. All the spots. But now, it's finally done. So, I can show you how to... Now I'm just gonna line this whole thing with duct tape, and I'll show you how to work the straps. We'll connect them, then I can finally wrap up this video. Alright, got the back all taped up. What's that? Guys, do you know what that says? Hold on. Wait a minute, actually, does that say something? Hold on. There's an E at the end. I don't know what that says. Can you tell me in the comments below, like, what that says? I mean, maybe using this sentence so it's easier to understand. Like, say, hey, this dude's cool. And then whatever that says. Maybe, blank to Wild Wolf, or... I don't know what that says. Just tell me. The heck, that's weird. Like, they put 2 separate duct tape rolls on one, like, cylinder. That's weird. Well, sweet. Twice as much duct tape. Okay, so I've decided that this is actually going to be the front piece because it fits perfectly. It's a lot more rigid and tough in those areas. At least it kind of bends here. Also, this works pretty well as a back piece too. So I just decided to change my mind. It fits a lot better. Okay, so now that we're working on the straps, I'll show you how to work later, but how to actually make and attach the straps is also important to show. So I got a strip of duct tape, cut it in half, lengthwise, put both pieces on opposite sides. Then right there where it meets, that won't be enough. That could just get pulled off. So right there, to keep it on, I'm going to wrap that end in duct tape, that tab right there. And to make the strap a bit thicker, I'm going to wrap it in duct tape as well. And then just do that for the other side. Okay guys, the next step, it's really important to make your buckles for the straps. Just draw 2 ovals next to each other pretty tightly, then draw a square around it and cut that out. Make sure that the inside of the oval is pretty small. This is how you make tension straps. Is where if you just let it rest, it just simply can't fall off. The only way it can fall off, the only way it would be able to come off is if you deliberately, I'll just show you later, but that's how you make them. Remember to make the spaces small and tight together. Make the buckle small as you can, but have the straps still fit. Also remember to use a knife and cut along the lines when cutting this out. Don't use scissors, it will just destroy the outline. Okay, now that I have carpal tunnel, I'll explain to you that I'm covering every inch of this in duct tape because these are really delicate and it does get crushed a bit in the process. Remember, it's really delicate, does get crushed a bit in the process. Also, if you find that it's too loose, then just wrap more duct tape around the strap to make it thicker, and that should help. And then it will be a bit tighter. Oh, I left it on. Okay, so what I meant is, see, look, how it is here. You just have it laying like that. There's no way that's coming off. The only way you could take it off is if you did it deliberately by doing this. Because otherwise, if you just left it flat like that, then it couldn't come off because, like, the more you pull on it, the more you pull, the tighter it gets, so the strap can't come out. That's how just tension straps work, or buckles, whatever you want to call them. Okay, next step. Got your straps both done. Line up your pieces, see where the straps go. Mine goes right there, so I'm gonna attach the buckle right there, and then that's how it'll work. Fine, it's kind of a pain to adjust these, so you'll just adjust it to the actual side. So instead of adjusting it while it's on you, just kind of leave it a bit loose. It'll be a slip-on then, and then if it's too tight, then you take it off and adjust it a bit more, and it's a slip-on, and so. But now I'm just gonna slip a piece of duct tape through there and tape it right there. And then I have to make the other buckle too, and making these is agony, so I'll be right back.